What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tuck Notes Beginner Stock Talk. My name's Tucker, and tonight's topic we'll be talking about Tesla stock. So, coming up, we will be hearing from an analyst from the investment firm Wedbush. I didn't know what that is, but it's an investment firm based in LA. And they hold about $2.4 billion under management. It's a lot of money. So we'll cover why this certain analyst thinks he has some massive news that his base case price target for Tesla is going to be 1,400, and his bullish case is going to be 1,800. And so we'll go into that and we'll watch a video about why he thinks that. We will also go into what to expect for Tesla stock as we get towards the end of the year. So with that, Tesla stock closed at $1,088.47. It was down about 0.5%, which is about $5.50 roughly, give or take. It opened up this morning and it went up to $1,010, and then it had a slight pullback and closed at $1,088. Today it looked like Elon Musk was selling, but he was not. So the overall stock market also had a slight pullback too. So it wasn't just Tesla, a lot of the big tech companies. And we just literally came out of a 5-day run of a Santa Claus rally where Tesla was up 21%. You know, when you get up that high, it's time to get out. That's what I say for myself. However, don't lose hope. We do plan to continue to have a Santa Claus rally still with the remaining days left of the year. So what to expect as we go into 2022. Elon Musk right now has not sold any of his shares. He still has 1.5 million remaining. There's no updates on the website. The last time he sold was on the 22nd of December. So we need to watch out for this when he sells his 1 million shares. You know, it's strategized, planned out. We don't know when. Excuse me. Now, we had some massive news that came out for Tesla stock with this Wedbush analyst coming out with the price targets. I told you a base case of 1,400 and bull case of 18. And basically, he says that most of the growth in 2022 is going to be coming from China. And so another thing that was massive is that there was a podcast that came out today, and in that Elon Musk mentioned about full self-driving and the potential possibility of it being level 4 FSD. It's getting a little technical, but coming out in 2022 or in the beginning of 2023. And so that's a lot to look forward to. And so with that, I'm going to show you a really short video about this podcast, which I recommend you to watch. It's 2.5 hours, but it is very detailed.
So we'll solve level 4 FSD. I mean, it's looking quite likely that it will be next year. So the interventions, per million miles has been dropping dramatically. At some point, and that trend looks like it happens next year, is the probability of an accident on FSD is less than that of the average human, and then significantly less than that of the average human. So it certainly appears like we will get there next year. Then of course, then there's going to be a case of, okay, well, we now have to prove this to regulators and prove it to, and we want a standard that is not just equivalent to a human, but much better than the average human. I think it's got to be at least 2 or 3 times higher safety than a human. So 2 or 3 times lower probability of injury than a human. before we would actually say like, okay, it's okay to go. It's not going to be equivalent. It's going to be.
So basically, that's that with that. There's more into that. You can check it out on your own on YouTube. Watch the whole video. Now we're going to get into why Dan from Wedbush thinks Teslas could go up to these price targets we told you I just mentioned. And after the video, we'll watch, I'll do a short-term technical analysis about what's coming up in the next couple of days. And yeah, so I'm going to get this video set up so we can watch this one. And here we go.
Firstly, how you get to this price target. I know you've been bullish for a while, but I think it's always helpful to remind everyone the sort of multiple that implies to get to $1,400.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've always viewed Tesla not as an auto company, but as a disruptive technology need. It's all about when they get the scale. So when you look at 2025, 2026 earnings, could they have $25 plus earnings potential? And I think that's just one way to sort of look at it. I also view as sum of the parts. When we look at China alone, I think China could be worth 400, even in a real bull case, $500 per share. And right now, this part of green tidal wave, we're really starting to see an inflection in 2022. And I think right now it's really sort of the next step of this Tesla growth story playing out.
So I didn't hear in that what the actual multiple is or which year's earnings you're basing it off. Maybe you can tell us that. But more importantly, why do you think it holds that premium multiple for another year or another 5 years when at least this year there's been a bit of flirtation with profit taking, a bit of a shift in how bullishly people value this company?
No doubt. And look, for Tesla, the haters are going to continue to hate. But when you start to look out for disruptive technology stocks that you could put call it 45, 50 multiple on what I view as $30 of earnings, and ultimately that could be even stronger as we get into the next few years, then you look at a base case 1,400, bull case 18. Because right now, in terms of EVs, if you look at unit growth, I think unit growth next year accelerates. We could see 55, 60% plus. Then you start to look at battery technology. And I think, well, this is the key. You look at that gross margin profile continues to expand significantly. Now the profitability picture starts to come into hold. That's always sort of been the sort of 1-2 punch. And I think now we really see that play out over the coming years.
What about China, Dan? What if they fail to really penetrate that market as Musk has planned to and as investors had hoped, which is really the growth opportunity? There's been some challenges.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, and if you look at earlier this year, between the PR issues, the safety issues, as well as just from a chip perspective, China started off pretty dark in terms of what we saw earlier this year. But now you're starting to see that strength accelerate into the rest of this year. And I think in 2022, you could be looking at a 50K per month run rate. But ultimately, I mean, Sarah, as you highlight, that really is the fork in the road. I mean, if China, anytime there's some white knuckles around China, that's clearly an overhang on Tesla stock. But the supply and demand story in China, that's a linchpin to our bull thesis. And I think by next year, 2022, you can have 40 to 50% of deliveries coming out of China. And just importantly, the profitability in China is dramatically more than what we're seeing in the U.S. And now you put Austin, in terms of that factor.
So that's huge. That's really huge. And if he's right, he's right. And that would be great. Before I get into anything more, I'd really like it if you'd like to subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. It helps out the video, helps out the channel, and turn on the notification bell, so you know every time the video is being made. So, as I promised, the technical analysis for Tesla in the next couple of days. Tesla's been it bounced from basically $884, all the way up to $1,200, and then now we're coming back and we're around $1,000 1,000. So basically, it went from 900 to 1,000 to 1,100 in 5 days. You know, and today we're experiencing a slight pullback, as I mentioned earlier. The main thing to be on the lookout is for Elon Musk selling his shares, and this is the biggest key home point where I'm about to say right now is this: we're experiencing a low volume right now, and of people buying and selling, and it could be due to what I was heard, holidays or people going on vacations. I think there's other things than that personally, but if we get to a point where the volume is very low, Elon Musk then sells his shares, that could really drop the price of Tesla. But maybe not too hard, because we've seen in the past when Elon Musk sells, it didn't do anything to the stock. It just kept going up. So like, but you know, the volume was higher. So this time it's lower, and it's getting lower. And this is what normally happens in the cycle of the stock market. I'm learning now, right now, as I'm talking to you. And so be on the lookout for that. And then if we can stay above $1,000 and go into the new year, like that, we have earnings coming up on January 26th. It could blow out the doors after that, you know, or ideally, if the numbers are all correct. And so for the short term, we could see Tesla right now go to $1,080, or you know, to 1,000 is in worst case scenario if he sells. But don't be scared, because it's going to come right back up. So if you liked the video, push the like button. I'd really appreciate that too. And I want to thank my subscribers and viewers for consistently watching Tuck Notes. I love you guys. You rock. You're making everything happen. Thank you. Good night. Peace out too.